Hello. Good evening. The time is 6:30. My name is Jed Barker. You're live here on social media platforms all over the world, also known as Jedi Knight. And why do they call me the Jedi Knight? Well, I've been being called the Jedi Knight since I was a little kid. Actually, it's one of my names. But one of the reasons they call me the Jedi Knight now is because I close loans at light speed. So I'm very happy to be here tonight. I'm going to be just give you a heads up. This is going to be a sort of short discussion training, mostly putting on about VA home loans. And first off, by way of introductions, again, Jedi Knight, Jed Barker. I'm one of the co-founders of Best Life Mortgage. And a little bit about myself. I'm a very active mortgage broker and loan officer here in South Carolina. A little bit more about me. I'm a husband to a beautiful wife that most of the time I do not deserve. She's amazing. I am a father to lovely, beautiful, and rambunctious, and at times very hard to deal with children. I'm also the son of the everlasting King. I was made by greatness for greatness, and I'm a patriot, very much so, a patriot to the United States of America. I love my country, and I'm very happy that this evening, for about 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to be talking about the VA home loan and how the VA home loan can benefit our veterans, because that's what it was made for. So before I get started on the VA home loan, I want to give just a really heartfelt, warm shout out, if I could, to our members of the service. And that would include the Air Force, the Army, the Coast Guard, the Marine Corps, the Navy, recently added Air Space Force. And so that's very cool. We all know that freedom is not free. It comes at a price. It came very much so at many times at a high cost. And I very much appreciate the armed forces and all those in the armed forces that have given so much of their lives, their time, their effort, their families, and indeed their very lives at times to help us secure our free nation. So I'm very grateful for them. And that's why I'm so excited to be talking about what we're going to be talking about tonight, which is VA home loans. So some very cool things. First off, before I get into the VA home loan, just some cool info about veterans. So Veterans Day is coming up, so I'm going to be excited to celebrate that with so many Americans. Currently, just some stats: 19 million, probably 19 million or more U.S. Veterans live in the United States. So a lot of veterans out there right now. 7% of our entire U.S. population is veterans. So that's a big chunk of the U.S. population is veterans. The top 3 states that have the most veterans living in them right now are California, Florida, and Texas. And so I'm pretty excited about that, mostly because Florida and Texas are 2 states that I serve. And those are the second and third largest populations of veterans. So I'd like to give a little history, if I could, about home loan, some of the things I learned about it, and just some little quick historical notes. So the VA home loan was created in 1944 as part of the GI Bill of Rights. It was signed in by President Franklin D. Roosevelt, and it was designed to help vets become more financially secure by securing homes for them through this VA home loan program, making it more competitive for them to offer loans and to secure loans, thereby making them more financially secure people and families. The VA home loan celebrates this year in 2021 its 77th year in business or operation or in service. And one really cool stat, think about this: over 24 million home loans have been secured by the VA. That's a whole lot of home loans and a whole lot of veterans that have been served by having a VA home loan. And so they are not new kids on the block. That program's in no way a new program. 24 million home loans, VA home loans have been originated. That's amazing. So not a new program by any stretch of the imagination. And so what I'd like to do, let's go a little bit of the basics of a VA home loan. And tonight, sort of the format in the next maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes, we'll see how long it lasts. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the basics of the home loan because I'd like us to know a little bit about the basics. I want to cover sellers, why a seller who's selling a home should absolutely look at accepting a VA home buyer. and not feeling that it's going to be a hard loan or a hard buyer to deal with, because in fact it's not. So I'm going to go over why sellers should accept VA home loan buyers, and then after that I want to go over why a VA home loan is such a benefit to the veteran and our active military. Okay, so first off, the VA home loan. They don't make home loans. They don't fund home loans. That's not what the VA does. The VA, what they do is they financially pledge, the government pledges to the lender to essentially back up that home loan if the borrower goes into default at a certain percentage of it. And this gives our lenders a lot of confidence in originating and funding those loans for our veterans, even our veterans who may have a hard time securing a home loan through another loan program, such as a conventional loan or other type of loan program. They may have an easier time securing this home loan because it is backed by the government up to a certain portion of it. So they guarantee a percentage of that home loan to the lender, which makes it, much more valuable to the lender too, an easier home loan for the lender to originate on and to fund. And so now what I want to do is I want to go into the seller's portion. So I want to talk about three myths that I believe sellers may have, and real estate agents who are with the sellers or representing the sellers, they may have these myths too. I want to bust these myths because they're just not true. Even though they may be common misconceptions and myths, I want to talk about how they are not true and why the seller should feel really good about accepting a VA home loan offer from a VA home loan buyer. So let's go on to myth number one. Okay, VA loans take longer to close. Misconception, not true, 100% bust. Let me tell you the truth of that misconception. VA home loans are smoking fast. We close them on average at 15 days. We have teams set up that deal directly with VA loans. They know the guidelines. They know exactly how to get them done quickly. They do not take any longer than a conventional loan or another type of loan to close. The VA home loan is an exceptionally fast loan product. So that is absolutely not true. So if you have as a seller, if you're listening to this and you're selling your home and you get an offer and then the person has a VA home loan, don't think, oh, that's going to take longer than normal, and I'm not so sure about that. Or if you're a listing agent, please don't have that misconception, because it's not true either. VA home loan is a closed loan. It happens quickly. And that's what we really all want, right? The seller, they want their loan to close quickly. If they want that loan to close quickly for the buyer, they don't want it to get held up. They want to close on that loan so they can close on their home. The buyer wants to close on that loan quickly so they can own the home quickly, right? But that VA home loan, it closes quickly, just as fast as any other loan. And I know because I do them and we close them quick. Let's go on to myth number two. VA loan appraisals take longer and are more difficult. This one, absolutely not true. I have a lot of experience this year with VA home loans. And as you know, we've been in a hyperbolic market this year, right? Appraisals have been taking longer than normal. I mean, if you're a listing agent, you know that. You've seen the struggle. If you're a loan officer, you know that. You've seen that. You've had it and you've experienced it. If you're selling a home or buying a home, you may have experienced that. But I can tell you from my experience this year, VA home loans or VA appraisals, they have not been taking long. On average, a nationwide average, VA home appraisals get back in 10 days from ordering them. This is much faster right now than most conventional appraisals are coming in. And the VA home appraisal network, it's amazing. I love working with that appraisal network. They're fast, they're efficient, they know their stuff, and they do a great job. So don't be concerned that a VA appraisal is going to take longer or it's more complicated, because it's not. It's just as easy. It's just as fast. And I would say, from my experience, the VA appraisal is faster than a conventional appraisal. So let's move on to myth number three. The seller will have to pay for repairs of a buyer's closing costs if accepting a VA home loan. This is not true. VA home loan users, the veterans that are using a VA home loan, they pay their own closing costs. You do not pay them as a seller. The veteran pays those. Their closing costs for the buyer, not the seller. Now, obviously, the seller can have some of their own closing costs, but the buyer is the one who pays their closing costs. And if the appraiser goes out and finds some things that are just not right with the house and calls them out in an appraisal and says these need to be fixed, the seller's not responsible to fix those and pay for fixing those. The buyer and the seller at that point will need to negotiate that just like they would on a conventional home loan. Who's going to be paying for those repairs? That is not the seller's responsibility. It's not necessarily the buyer's responsibility. It's a negotiated responsibility, and it's not a requirement that the seller pays those. So there's 3 myths that are busted. They're just not true. And here's an extra one I'm going to throw in there. Not a myth, but just say it. If you're selling your home and you have an offer come in from a VA borrower, please remember that these are well-qualified borrowers. They're not getting the VA home loan because they didn't qualify for a conventional loan. And most of the time, they're getting it because it's a better loan product for them. It's been set up specifically for them so that they can use that loan product to buy the house, okay? And it's been set up to make it better for them. So listen to this next part. It'll teach you a few things if you don't know about why that VA loan product is better for them to use, possibly, than a conventional loan product. So let's go down. But the truth there, the buyer is responsible for his or her own closing costs. I just covered that. So let's move on now for the veterans. So I'm going to go over a few key points here for veterans and active duty that are listening that want to learn more about why you would benefit from the home loan. So let's go into number 1, no down payment. That's a great benefit for a lot of our veterans. No requirement to have a down payment. Now, can you have a down payment? Yes, you can have a down payment if you'd like. There's nothing saying you can't put 10% down or more down if you want to, but there's no requirement to put a down payment down. It's 100% financing. Okay, that is great, and there's no loan limits either. It doesn't cap out at like $350,000 or something like that. There's no loan limits on that VA financing. Okay, number 2. Even though it's 100% financing, there is no mortgage insurance. That is a big benefit. That's thousands and thousands of dollars of savings a year potentially for our veterans that they can save by using a VA home loan at 100% financing. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, mortgage insurance is a lender required insurance that's paid by the borrower if people don't have a 20% down on their home or 80% equity. They have to pay extra insurance. But with the VA home loan, they do not have to do that. So it saves hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a year. Okay. Let's go on number 3. The VA program is more flexible with credit and income guidelines than other programs, meaning our borrowers can have a lower credit score and have higher DTI ratios than they would on conventional guidelines, still qualify with great rates. Okay, which leads me on to my next one really is more competitive interest rates. I'm not going to give an exact rate tonight because I like this video to be a little more evergreen, not just tied into today's rates, but I was definitely quoting out VA rates today. If I was to compare them to conventional financing, just based on the same numbers, I was at least a half a point or a half percentage different down lower on the VA home loan than I was on more of the conventional style loans. And what does this do? This can qualify more of our borrowers for the price of a home that they're looking for and save them a whole lot of money, right? So there you go. So who qualifies for a VA home loan? I've done my research on this, and I'm not going to be able to break it all down tonight because there's all these years involved. If you were served between this year and this year, then you have to have this much service, and there's a lot of things right there. It's not overly complicated, but let's just say to know if you qualify for a VA home loan, here's a website you could go to. Just look at it down bottom. I'll leave it up there for a minute. You can go look on there. What's going to happen is you will apply for a certificate of eligibility, and it will show you if you do indeed qualify for a VA home loan, okay? And as a lender, what you can do if you'd like to, you can actually reach right out to me, and I can help you determine that through ordering your certificate of eligibility, right? So my number is 864-800-9251. That's 864-800-9251. Feel free to call or text me at any time and ask me to help you look into that. I'm servicing VA home loans in Texas, South Carolina, and Florida. So call me in any of those states. If you're in another state, feel free to reach out to me too. I would not mind helping you. Okay. You can also visit me on my website at www.bestlifemortgageadvisor.com. On there, you'll find a bit more about me, a bit more about my loan products and who we are and what we're doing. Last thing I want to share with you tonight is we have a slogan here at Best Life Mortgage. It's home loans with heart. Why do we say that? is because we've dedicated and decided as a company to be a tithing company. Tithing is 10%. The Lord said we should donate 10% of our income, right? So as a business, what we've decided to do is donate 10% of our corporate business as well to a cause. And that cause is Destiny Rescue. We're liberating children from slavery and human trafficking. So that's why we call ourselves Home Loans with Heart. If you want to look more into that, check out destinyrescue.org, I believe. They're amazing. I've enjoyed sharing with you a bit about VA home loans, why they would be a benefit to the seller, why they're definitely a benefit to the buyer, and why we as people should honor, respect, and be very, very, very grateful for our great nation and for our veterans who have fought to protect our freedoms, especially, throughout all the years now, from the beginning, really, from the very beginning of the founding of our nation, for freedom. We the people. So I'm so thankful for that. That's it, guys. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you. If anyone watched this tonight, thank you. If not, we'll watch it later when I have it on a video. Take care. Bye-bye.